Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker with Tools. Tonight we're going to be discussing some lofty claims that Hilti has made about their brand new drill driver. So let's go ahead and get right into that on Tinker with Tools. So in the fall of 2023, Hilti invited several different individuals from the trades and then also some individuals from different YouTube channels to go and see the next wave of Hilti Neuron tools. In those tools, we saw a brand new cordless miter saw, a cordless track saw on the Neuron platform, but then there was something else that caught my eye and really grabbed a hold of my attention. This is the brand new Hilti SF10W22. It is a drill driver that is specifically designed for situations where you're drilling large through holes or recesses in wood. And when they announced it, they actually specifically stated that it was going to be the strongest pistol grip drill driver in the industry. And I think those are some pretty lofty claims. Now this is the Hilti SF6H22, and overall the specs on this one don't necessarily jump off the page at you. They quote two different torque figures for this. The soft torque figure here is 575 inch-pound. The hard torque application is 752. Now to give you a comparison point, the Ryobi HP hammer drill, that one is rated at 750 inch-pounds. Now I can tell you from using both of them, the Hilti drill is the stronger of the two drills, and it felt maybe more like they were quoting realistic numbers with this tool versus quoting some catchy marketing figure. For this new drill, the power figures that they tout with this one are a big step in the right direction, with a 46% increase in soft torque going from 575 inch-pounds up to 851, and a 41% increase in hard torque going from 752 up to 1062. So those are big increases over this drill in terms of just raw numbers. But exactly how impressive that would be, that's what I wanted to be able to test. So when I got it and got it out of the box, the first thing that strikes you is this is a big drill. This is not a drill that you're going to get just to run around as your primary drill. It is actually 9.4 inches long. Now that 9.4 inches, when you compare to what a lot of tool companies are doing with their top tier drills, trying to make them smaller, more compact, more lightweight, this one stands out almost as being more similar to drills of yesteryear. It even makes something like the DeWalt FlexFold Advantage seem like a compact or more compact drill. Now, size isn't the only thing that stands out about this drill. The other thing that is pretty remarkable about it is the fact that it is actually only a drill driver. There is no hammer drill version of this drill. This feels like a very purpose-driven tool where you are trying to do a very specific task, and so you buy this drill when you need to do that task. Otherwise, you may have something else that's going to cover the majority of things. You do, though, get a 4-speed gearbox. Top speed does take you all the way up to 2,230 RPMs. The lowest speed down in speed 1 is going to give you just 300 RPMs. Now, the last thing I'll talk before we get to some actual testing is the price of the tool. This is $279, easily making it the most expensive tool only that I have ever purchased. When I purchased it, I did own a few different Hilti Neuron batteries, but I did not own kind of the biggest batteries that they have shown this being tested on. I took a chance wanting to see if I could get away with running the smaller batteries and at least see what the difference between the two tools were. So I went ahead and purchased it, got it out here, and started testing it, just using it with the 4 amp hour battery that I had. So we're cutting out at 1.25 inches. Okay, we're getting our first cut out. Okay, we're getting a cut out. Cutting out again. Now from those early tests and then additional testing that I did off camera that wasn't filmed, it became pretty apparent that the new drill was just not performing very well on the 4 amp hour battery. When I started to see both inconsistent results and results where it felt like I really could lean into the 6.8 more than I could the new 10W, and I was actually seeing that I was holding back a little bit because I didn't want it to cut out. I wanted to be able to try and make it through. Now the answer of needing a bigger battery was something that I had already considered, but when I was purchasing the tool at already $279 and then trying to tack another $217 8 amp hour battery on top of that, I wanted to see if I could get some initial testing out of the way with the 4 amp hour, maybe see a difference between the tools, and then invest in the 8 amp hour battery later on. With those initial results, I did make the decision about a week later to go and purchase the 8 amp hour battery. With the new battery in hand, I wanted to retest both tools, kind of going through some of the same tests to see if both tools would come alive on the bigger battery and perform better, or if I would see a noticeable improvement with the bigger drill getting properly fed from a larger battery. Are we getting better performance on the drill? Well, yes, the drill does perform better on the bigger battery. There are tests that you can just really lean into with a lot more confidence. And having not seen the times exactly, I can say that it possibly feels like the bigger the bit gets, the more of an advantage the bigger drill has as it starts to rely more on torque. I'm not seeing a huge advantage on the lower end test, even though this has more power and speed. It just really doesn't seem to separate itself that much from this drill. Now, as we got up to those bigger bits, one of the things that became really advantageous to the tool was the 4-speed gearbox. Being able to drop it down into speed 3 versus having to go all the way down to speed 1 on the 2 9/16 bit, that was something that was really nice because you could get more torque, but while maintaining a little bit more speed. And so it does give you more versatility as you're going through and doing those different tasks. So then the last thing that I wanted to try and test, which is the 10-inch lag into a 4x6. Now, I had every intention of trying to do that test with this drill as well, even though I do think it's a little underpowered for that. But unfortunately, a lot of stuff happened with that. First off, this is the first drill that, although it didn't just drive it straight in speed 2, is where I started with that, it did get it in quite a ways on speed 2 before I had to drop down to speed 1. In speed 1, it actually wanted to keep on going until the actual socket slipped off of it. I actually ended up destroying my socket adapter here to the point where I can't get it to really tighten up very well in there. Now, I don't think the time that I'm going to have shown you for that is better necessarily than some of the other big drills I've done. I know the Bosch 1330, the Makita XGT, all drove it in flush and did a great job, and then would typically kind of cut out once you got it down flush with the wood. This one wanted to keep on going. So I do think that there is potentially something there with it being a very torque heavy drill, perhaps, you know, one of the strongest drills in those applications, but I just don't think that the common person, myself included, is ever going to push a drill to the limit where they need more power. And there are enough compromises with this drill that it obviously clearly is not intended for me as its main customer. It's not intended for the most of it. I think this drill is something that they have very clearly said is focused on a very singular type of task. They mentioned utility poles as being one of the applications that would see a lot of benefit from this and being able to do those tasks faster. At the end of the day, I can say that on that 8 amp hour battery, it is impressive in its power, but it also comes with a lot of weight and a lot of size, and it's just not intended for the majority of us. For most people, something like this, or even the top drills from other brands, are going to be perfectly suited for doing a lot of the different tasks we have. But I also wanted to see what this could offer. I think I have the same itch that a lot of us do, that when somebody says something's the most powerful, we want to test it out and try it and see if it is. So we'll do further testing in the future with this in comparisons to other brands' drills. You know, obviously stacking it up against that Bosch, I think, is a real natural comparison point. Now, if you like the video, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you have any questions about the drill or about its performance, go ahead and leave those down in the comments below. We'll try and get those answered for you. And as always, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to mark the bell notification so you can get notified when I put out new videos. I always appreciate your support, and until next time, I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.